Okay, happy to be here once again. And I'm going to start off with this little provocative question. How many of your friends actually know what you're doing here? Like, you're building some sort of a space system, all right? Yeah, that's what they would say?
You just say, like, do things in space, then they say what? Then you start explaining, and then they turn.
Yeah, I think you encompassed the problem pretty well. And that's what I'm trying to make. Like, we all know that it's super cool what we're doing, but other ones are just kind of lost where we actually are here. And that's what we're trying to do. If you ask people, okay, what is this? Maybe they know answer. At this time, they have certainly heard of NASA. But even in some aerospace communities, if you ask, okay, you know some NASA missions, what about some ESA missions? People are like, not really sure, okay. But that's a key difference between the two, I think. They have some different approaches to the whole aerospace field. And I'm going to come back to this difference a little bit later. But I think you have to agree that maybe NASA have started a little bit earlier, but they have found this little gold mine. And I think ESA and some other country, like national agencies, have not found it. They're pretty much undercover. Nobody knows about them. Okay, but we know that space has given us a lot of different technologies. It is basically innovating in so many industries that we can't even count them all here. I have just two little fingers left, like only 4 here. But basically, we all know how this is going, but we have to share it with others. It's kind of saying in the 80s that internet is just going to be like just a little wave, and it's going to pass. But I'm pretty sure that space is kind of the same thing, but right now. We know that it's just like some people are working on in their garages, on some little PocketQubes or somewhat, but in a few years, decades, it's going to be everywhere. Same as the internet was in the 80s, and it's all around us now. And what we're trying to do with our program is somewhat similar. Whoops. So, some of us are in countries that have like longer space heritage, but some don't. And everybody wants to get on that space train, because if you're left behind, you just have to get on your own. And that's exactly what we're trying to do in Estonia. We're trying to get on that train now. Especially that it's like evolving so quick. In Estonia, we had our first satellite, SQ1, in 2013, despite the fact that our every cent is counted in the science budget. We launched the first PocketQube. It was a super successful launch, actually. And by that, we know that pretty much every Estonian is a space fan. We just have to show it to them. And it was kind of groundbreaking. And from that, even like small children were saying that, okay, I want to be an astronaut sometime when I grow up. Okay, that would be cool. And TalTech, also our second university in Estonia, wanted to get on that cool hype train. And we launched our first satellite in 2019 and second, pretty much identical, in 2020. But there was a problem with this project. Pretty much nobody knew about it. It was just undercover. And that's what we are trying to do different with this little guy, this little project. We're trying to get closer to people who are just on the street. We're trying to show that this little thing is actually going to be in space and try to capture the imaginations of tomorrow's innovators, the students, more and more. And Anna is going to talk a little bit more about what this is actually going to encompass in our case. So, das kan doen.
So, what will our new satellite actually do? We want to fit everything that usually fits inside the Cube satellite into our 1P Pico satellite. So our Pico satellite will make pictures of the Earth using visible light camera. It will also position itself accordingly using active attitude control. And it will also conduct different scientific experiments. For example, the characterization of moon regolith solar cells. Sorry. Yeah. Besides using the probably most common satellite frame material like aluminium, we are planning to experiment with 3D printing a composite of polyether ether ketone and carbon nanofibers. And using that technology, we can integrate the attitude control magnet torquer coils inside the satellite structure, so it takes less space inside the actual satellite. Yeah, and if that technology works, maybe many other PocketQube builders could use that technology. Yeah, probably the most important scientific experiment on our Pico satellite board will be testing the moon regolith solar cells, which are currently being developed in TalTech by a PhD student. So moon regolith solar cells are made of a compound called iron disulfide, which is also known as fool's gold. And those elements, iron and sulfur, are pretty abundant on the moon surface. So if the test is successful and goes well, then maybe humanity could use those solar cells to get energy on the moon. And yeah, we have also made a stratospheric test. The goal of the test was to take some nice pictures of the Earth and also the deployment of the satellite wings. In addition, we wanted to know how good our teamwork was. And technically speaking, the outcome was kind of a win-lose situation because we did get some pretty nice videos, but unfortunately the satellite's wings did not deploy. Overall, we did get some pretty good information about our team, so the test went pretty great. Currently, we are planning to finish the project by 2025. And the reason for that comes back to our team of students. I think we all want to see our creation in the sky when we have worked on it for so many years. And basically, we try to experiment with many different things. We build the designs that may work, and then we fly to space, and we get better and better every time and go again.
So what we're trying to achieve is show that those little steps can also be hugely impactful. You don't have to create some new kind of rocket technology to make a contribution to the field. You can just iterate little by little, get better every time, and know that no big invention has been done just like a snap of fingers. Those things have happened over a long time. And that's what we're also trying to show, that even just the small improvements over time are mounting to a bigger impact. And we all know that we're going back to the moon like pretty much tomorrow. So this, and also the fact that Mars is not also over the horizon, it's just getting closer and closer every day, we should get ready and we should learn about the space even more and also share this excitement and know-how with others. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build the satellite, but also build our team, build the knowledge, build the community over and around it. And our knowledge is amounting to greater and greater, and because of that, I think the community is also getting bigger and bigger. So what we are trying to do is only the little PocketQube, but that is contributing to a bigger cause and bigger result in the future. As we talked about, this small satellite is going to be launched in 2025 already, and we're hoping to get more satellites in Estonia with the next 5 years, maybe 10. Also looking at some collaborations with different universities, because again, if we have the knowledge only in our team, in our heads, it's kind of useless. We have to share it with others. That's when it gets the power. And that's what we are trying to do. Experiment, try out, fail, experiment again, fail again, and then in the end get results and fly the whole thing. But also share what we are trying to do and share what we have learned so far. That's why, for example, we are sharing our experience with the project through media, through a blog that we are going to start posting more into, and sharing what we know in hopes that we can all get some new knowledge in that field and share what we have known. And in the future, we'll have this greater pool of knowledge that we can all harness and get things done quicker. So, as already Carl Sagan said, we are just some humans walking on this pale blue dot in an empty sky. And we should stick together, build this community, and also help others do it. So, yeah, see you among the stars. Thank you.